You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Many across the nation were stunned by this argument between President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. I'm Hannah McElroy in Omaha, and I sat down with a Ukrainian immigrant who was hoping for a resolution.
They want Ukraine to be wiped out as a national entity.
And a Creighton law professor who's an expert in the region.
President Zelenskyy refused to kiss the ring.
Vitaliy Oshnik and his 7 siblings came to the United States from Ukraine as refugees in 2003. He still has friends and family in Ukraine. They're about the same distance Omaha is from Chicago to the front lines.
But they have air defense sirens. One is Russian ballistic missiles flying over Ukraine. They still having those sirens in the middle of the night. They have to go to shelter.
Oshnik says he thinks the argument was one big miscommunication based on a language barrier between Trump and Zelenskyy. He hopes what he says is a misunderstanding doesn't lead to more devastation in his home country.
Have mercy on the people who are enslaved of the situation between both of two. I mean, it would be very sad for me to see Russia conquer much more Ukraine.
I wanted to know more about what the implications of Trump removing Zelenskyy from the White House could be for our neighbors. So I met with Michael Kelly, an international law professor at Creighton. He says Europe needs to make a deal absent the United States.
They just need to jettison their dependence upon the United States, or at least waiting for the United States to take the lead, because that's not going to happen. The Europeans have several things. I mean, they have their own troops. They can place European troops around cities in Ukraine, Kyiv, Odessa, Lviv, the big cities. The Russians will stop probably bombing those cities for fear of hitting European troops.
Kelly told me Congress will have a big influence on how the United States proceeds with peace efforts between Russia and Ukraine. So I contacted Congressman Don Bacon. He sent me the following statement. A bad day for America's foreign policy. Ukraine wants independence, free markets, and rule of law. It wants to be part of the West. Russia hates us and our Western values. We should be clear that we stand for freedom. I also contacted Senator Deb Fischer, who said the tenor of Zelenskyy's comments to President Trump were inappropriate and disrespectful, and urging him to apologize. We also reached out to Senator Pete Ricketts' office and haven't gotten a response yet. In Omaha, I'm Hannah McElroy.